now. Hi, everybody. I am Paula Ludwig from the Atlantic Institute, and today is our potluck cuisine of different cultures. And the way we're going to do that is everybody's going to show their dish they've made if they've made something, and then talk about it for a couple of minutes. We're not really sharing the recipes here. What we will do is I put my email address in the chat. I will put it in again, and you can email me the address. And if you don't have a dish to show, but you'd like to include a recipe into our cookbook, that would be awesome. And anybody who includes a recipe will get a virtual copy of our cookbook that we are compiling. It will consist of all the recipes that we've had this year from our cuisine of different cultures, along with any recipes provided today and any that we at the Atlantic Institute find fun and should be in there as well. So I'm going to show you a short video about the Atlantic Institute. Our vision is of a peaceful world. If you haven't already, if you could put in the comments where you're from and just the name of your recipe that you're going to be sharing with us today. All right, let me work on sharing my screen. Yay.
The Atlantic Institute is a nonprofit organization dedicated to promoting harmonious coexistence between peoples of various cultures, faiths, and backgrounds. We seek this goal through peaceful dialogue, education initiatives, and community organization. Our dialogue events bring together experts, community and faith leaders, and knowledge seekers to address social issues that affect us all. We feel dialogue is the most important element in peaceful coexistence, so we try and maintain several panel discussions, TED Talk events, and book clubs throughout the year. These events touch on social issues, race relations, and cultural understanding, and are a mainstay of our program. The Atlantic Institute's education events are extremely important to our mission of understanding. We want to promote socially forward critical thinking to students of all ages. To that end, we have developed programs that seek to grow the creative spirit of students and help them think about their communities and the world around them. Our Future Leaders of Dialogue event brings together nominated elite students to learn from each other as well as political and business leaders. Our art and essay contest gives students a theme about important societal issues and allows them to create wonderful works of art and writing while steering their minds towards improving their world. We're always seeking ways to educate youth and adults in order to make a peaceful world for all of us. Our community events are designed to transform neighbors into friends and groups of people into a community. By associating with other nonprofits or by our own initiative, we are always trying to discover new avenues to improve our neighborhoods, places of worship, and community centers. We host cooking demonstrations of food from other cultures, work with various nonprofits to help elevate the work of others, and try to find a way to make the lives of those who are disenfranchised or marginalized better. Building a more peaceful world starts in our backyards, so we are dedicated to improving our communities and associations. The Atlantic Institute is always seeking like-minded volunteers and collaborators. If you would like to learn more, find volunteer opportunities, or just want to chat with our staff, please visit our website at www.atlanticinstitutesc.org or follow us on Facebook. We will never run out of fun, educational, peaceful events. So come, join us to help make this world a better place full of understanding and unity.
All right, let me get out of here. Stop share. All right, Elizabeth, can you hear us again? All right, so that was about the Atlantic Institute. I'm going to share my dish first, and everybody can see how I do it, and then we'll go around and see if anybody's got any other dishes they want to share. So I am sharing, let me see, I can get a good picture of it. One of my family's favorite dinners, and it's called poppy seed chicken. And what it is it's noodles. We use egg noodles or rice for the base. And then we make chicken. You can use canned chicken. You can boil off chicken. You can use leftover chicken from recipes. And what we do is you make sure that that's cooked completely. And then you mix a can of cream of mushroom soup, poppy seeds, and equal amount of sour cream to your cream of soup. You can use any cream of soup. I prefer the mushroom. You mix that up thoroughly, put it in a baking dish, and then you crunch up Ritz crackers on the top and put some butter on, and then you bake it for a half hour. And like I said, this is one of my their favorites. And I've never run anybody. I learned this recipe almost 30 years ago, and I've never ran into anybody who has ever made it or tried it other than my family, because of course I've shared it with all of them. Until this weekend, actually, I met a young man who says his family makes it all the time and does it just like this. So it's, like I said, it's a wonderful recipe. It's awesome. Back then, the poppy seeds did not show up any drug testing for the military. I'm not sure about nowadays with, the way testing has become more advanced. So I'm not sure about that, but you don't have to make it with the poppy seeds. It just seems that it doesn't seem right without it. So that's poppy seed chicken with my family. All right, so who would like to go next? See if we've got anybody that's put in here recipes. Henry.
Yes.
Awesome, Henry. I'm going to you real quick, Henry.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to share my wife's mother's recipe for apple dumpling. I've already sent you a email for it. She made it last month around Thanksgiving, and it is simple. It is very easy to do. The original recipe called for handmade dough, but my wife bought some good pastry dough at the supermarket, and that saved her a lot of time. So it is really great. And if you want me to put it in the chat, I can do that. Or else you can share it when you get my email.
Oh, we'll just put it in the cookbook. If you can send a picture as well, that's great. If not, that's okay too. But
okay, well, I really don't have a good picture of it, but it is good though.
Okay. Anybody else want to go next? Let's see.
Do I get a special prize if I'm the only one that does it?
You're the only one that gets to cook, but no. Anybody else? Heather?
You hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I don't have a picture or anything to show, but I make this super simple chicken recipe. I work full time, so getting home and trying to cook dinner is not usually my favorite thing that I want to do. So simple is best. So this one, it just involves some chicken thighs. You just put the chicken thighs in a baking dish, sprinkle with salt, pepper, and then you make a really quick sauce. The sauce consists of maple syrup. I use real maple syrup. I suppose you could use like any kind that you have. I've also tried it with sugar-free and it's worked. And then you add Dijon mustard to that, and then a little bit of rice wine vinegar. You mix it up, you bake it for about 40 minutes or so, and like everything just kind of marries. It's really good, and then you just serve it over rice. We usually use this like savory saffron rice, but we've tried it on jasmine, white rice, brown rice. It works really with anything. And it's a really quick, easy kind of hands-off dinner. So if you're looking for something that tastes like it took a lot of time to make, and something hot, for dinner, it's a great choice. And I will share the recipe and a picture.
Awesome. And all right. So we got Henry and Heather. Anybody else? Just unmute yourself and say something. And what do you call that, Heather?
For me, I call it man-pleasing chicken because it's my husband's favorite. So
okay. See if we have anybody else.
I just have a quick question for Heather. Can you use another type of vinegar instead of rice wine vinegar?
Sure, I would think you could use red wine vinegar, or apple cider vinegar would probably be like the best substitute, because those are kind of like interchangeable flavors.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Hi, I'm going to be making a, hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Who is it so I can spotlight you? There you are.
Tomorrow I'm going to be making a lobster mac and cheese. At one point I lived in Nova Scotia, so this is homage to my time in Nova Scotia, and my children and my grandchildren love it. So that's what we'll be having tomorrow. I will put a picture and the recipe in the chat or in an email, but it's delicious.
That would be wonderful. Thank you. And I'm putting my email address in there again if for those who are new didn't get it.
Yeah, it's a very simple recipe. You just do get all your cheeses, grate them, make your roux, add your salt, pepper, whatever, and then you put in your cheese and you cook your macaroni, throw it in, and then you put in your bits of lobster and some breadcrumbs on the top and bake it for about 35, 40 minutes. And it's delicious.
It sounds awesome. All right. Thank you very much. Next, who would like to share the recipe next?
I have one. Lorraine has one.
Lorraine, let me see if I can find your.
Looks like it's just my Facebook cover picture.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
It's called stuffed chicken peppers. And you cut 4 peppers in 2 and seed them. And you take a little brush and brush some olive oil in there and salt and pepper. In the meantime, or next, you take a fry pan and cook up half a chopped onion, 2 cloves of garlic chopped up, and saute that just for a couple minutes and until the onion is soft. And then you put in your, see how many cups of chopped chicken. I think it's 4. I use a rotisserie chicken. No, it's 3 cups because a rotisserie chicken usually gives me 3 cups exactly. And mix that in with a couple tablespoons of Frank's hot sauce. And then you stuff your peppers and you cook them in a preheated oven at 400 degrees. You take it out, you shred some Gouda cheese on top of that. And it's simple and delicious. That's it.
That sounds awesome. One of my husband's favorite condiments is Frank, so I'll definitely have to try that recipe.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Who's next? This is awesome.
Hello.
Hello, Miriam.
Hi. I don't know if you can hear me well or not, just in case my internet is not working perfectly today. So I will try to do as much as I can. I think I sent you the recipe that I am from Peru, from South America. So the recipe that I sent you is from the south of Lima, which is Arequipa, and it's a very typical soup, and it's made with shrimp. So I tried to find something that we can find the ingredients here in the States. The soup is very easy if you have all the ingredients. So it's going to take you less than 30 minutes to cook. You just only have to saute the garlic and onion and the spices together. And when it starts already tastes clear, crystal, just add the water. Start boiling the water or the broth, or if you have shrimp broth, it's better. When it's boiling the broth, just add the rice and the vegetables. When the vegetables and the rice are done, then you add you crack the eggs in there. And when it's half done the eggs, add the shrimp. Cover until it's done. And you just add the evaporate milk when you are going to serve the shrimp, the soup. You don't add the evaporate milk while you are cooking. Just only the evaporate milk is when you are going to be served in your dish. And then you just mix with your soup. And that's it. And that's it. Just taste with the salt and pepper. If you like hot sauce, you can add the hot sauce while you're cooking, which I don't like, so I don't add hot sauce. And that's it. Just to say, you have all the ingredients together. It's less than 30 minutes. One secret that I have is I prepare my own shrimp broth. So when I buy the shrimps, I peel them. And if I have the heads, with that, I just boil the head and the skin to prepare my broth. If I don't have the broth, I just go with a vegetable broth, or just from the can or from the box, or just prepare your own. And I think that's it. Bon appetit.
Thank you, Miriam. That sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You're welcome. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next. I didn't submit a recipe, but I actually got a recipe from one of our volunteers, and she brought it to work, and it's called Pecan Shortbread.
Ooh.
And it's so simple. It's like half a cup of butter, 4 heaping teaspoons of icing sugar, 2 cups of flour, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of pecans, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. You knead it all together, roll it into a small crescent or a finger, and then bake for 20 minutes at 325 to 350. And then while it's hot, you dip it in icing sugar. So I loved them. She brought half a dozen. I think I ate 5 of them.
If you I put my email address in the chat. If you just email me that recipe, and if you have a picture, great. If not, that's all right too.
Well, I'm going to make them today, so I'll definitely have a picture. And then the other one, she's from Scotland, and I asked her about Scotch Shortbread. Little different, and it's a big recipe. 2 cups of butter, 1 cup of brown sugar, and 1 egg yolk, which I've never heard of in shortbread. And then you cream all that together. You add 4 cups of flour, a little at a time, and you get it to like it's a putty, and then you roll it 1/2 inch thick, and you prick it all with the fork and cut it into shapes, bake at 325 for 30 minutes.
Wow.
Yes, I love shortbread. It's my favorite.
Yes, we look forward to those. Thank you, Christina.
You're welcome.
Who would like to go next? Looking. We actually have people in the waiting room still. Wow. For those of you joining us, if you could put in the chat where you're from and the name of your recipe that you'd like to share with us. We're in the middle of sharing our recipes. Who would like to go next? Hello? Again, for those of you who share your recipes with me, I've put my email address in the chat. If you could share your recipes with me by email, that would be wonderful. If you have a picture of it, it can be off Google. That would be awesome too. We do a cookbook, a virtual cookbook, and we share that with everybody who shares a recipe with us for today. And you don't have to say anything on here if you don't want to. You can just email me if you like. We also have last year's cookbook that is available. And for those of you who would like the password for that, please email me as well at the email address I provided for you. And if we don't have any more shares, then I think we're going to close it off and go on our happy Saturday, or Saturday for those of us here in the US. Is there somebody else who wants to share? Gail? Do you want to talk about your recipe, Gail? I think she's just going to send it to me. All right. I want to thank everybody for coming. Again, just share your recipe with me and I'll send the cookbook link once I have it. And for those of you who would like last year's cookbook, it entitled last year's cooking demos that we did, as well as some other recipes that we found from friends and family. I want to thank everybody for coming. Check out the Atlantic Institute's website. We have more programs coming. And I also, for those of you who come through our Eventbrite, I keep adding new ones almost every day to our Eventbrite page as well. I want to thank everybody for coming and have a happy Saturday. I'm going to end the recording now.